Fish on. Wow, dude, are we on them right now or are we absolutely on them? There we go. How you gonna beat it? Beautiful fall walleyes, catching an absolute pile of them. All right, are we ready? Camera rolling, check. Camera rolling, check. Camera for graph ready, check. What is going on, guys? Today we are back with what is hopefully gonna be another awesome video today. Got in the truck this morning, drove about 3-4 hours, and we're to some bigger puddles than I get to fish on most days, and that's always a good thing. I love fishing larger bodies of water, and generally larger bodies of water hold more walleyes. Isn't that a crazy concept? But anyways, here we are today, and it is officially fall. 56-degree water temp. Absolutely love it. Kind of that dingy, dirty fall sky. Nice and overcast. Little rain clouds popping all around us. Trees, shoreline's all lit up. Feels incredible. On a little couple day solo trip, just me, myself, and I, so hopefully you guys can deal with that. No guest, no co-stars today, but yeah, we're gonna hopefully catch some walleyes today. And this is one of those things where it was a last minute thing. Got in the truck, drove, and now we're to a lake. There's no predetermined plot, there's no script, and we just go out and we look for fish, and then we hopefully catch fish. That's kind of what every single one of these videos is like. But with that being said, let's fire up the motor. Let's cover some ground, look for some fish. Maybe we'll take you guys along for the process. What I really want to do today is catch some fish jigging, because that's just pretty much what I want to do every day in the fall. You know, if you fish walleyes every day of your life, in the middle of summer, you're like, oh, you guys are gonna make me pull spinners again. Oh, you guys are gonna make me drag live bait around really slow again. And then fall rolls around, and all you want to do is crack a rod and feel fish thump a jig. So that's the plan today. Stay tuned. Let's get it going on. Take you guys along for the ride, of course, and make it happen today. All right. Let's get it going. What do you guys say? Kind of putted around, well, kind of drove into a few areas. There's a bunch of boats in one spot I was gonna go, but it's kind of community spot. So what do you expect? Came down here to no man's land where I see no boats, because that's kind of how I like to keep it, you know. Our clouds are slowly giving way in my driving around to sun, and the wind I think is going to calm down today, which is kind of unfortunate, because I like the clouds and the wind, especially for this shallow water thing. But I am sure we will still probably catch some fish. Now, I'm going to try to roll a little bit of GoPro stuff here for you guys, and we'll see how we'll see what we see here. Essentially what I'm doing is getting in one of these big shallow water spots that I've caught fish before in the past. I'm just going to start flying through it with the trolling motor. Side imaging 100 feet on the Humminbird. I actually did a phenomenal video a couple weeks ago that was all about breaking down these big shallow water flats and how you do it kind of in detail. billion screenshots, scroll speeds, 360, side imaging, all that kind of stuff for the Walleye Now. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. And Walleye Now, if you guys are not familiar, is kind of like where I put these long videos that are like super heavy information that would just don't really fit super well on YouTube. And it's an unbelievable walleye fishing resource. And that video will be found how to break down shallow water flats, early fall, and natural lake, and it'll be right there. But we're cruising into one of these spots now, and I'll try to kind of, I guess, document what I can see. You guys can see on the side imaging plain sand both sides here. And basically what we're looking for is a couple things, but hopefully fish, right? Fish are really what we're looking for. All right, this is what we want to see right here. Just came into the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot. Now what you have off the right is like some gravelly, little bit of fringe weed. What you have off the left, that is a big pod of roaming walleyes in shallow water. Most time in shallow water, you're gonna see that big shadow like that. You can see how they're kind of all grouped up right there. Now, the important thing is to not just stop on that. Anytime you're looking at a graph that looks like this, where it's very minimal depth change, very minimal structure, and a big pot of wallies like that, rest assured those fish are going to move fast. So it's hard to just follow one pot around like that. So generally what I like to do is kind of keep cruising and try to find kind of another school, or go a couple 100 yards after you see that, and if you're like, man, I just didn't see another thing that looked like that, you pretty much go try another spot, because it's going to be really hard to just exclusively fish that school, and they're just never going to stop moving, and they're going to be spooky in shallow water. So you want to do is find generally a several 100-yard area that's got some, you know, 4 or 5 schools like that, or at least a few of them, to let you know that there's more there than just that one really nomadic pot of fish. All right, so here's another pot out here, and I've seen a few that just look about like this. You guys can probably see it off the left side here. There's actually a few more off my right now. So this is what we're looking for. This is at the point where I feel confident, like, all right, if I keep buzzing up and down this, I'm gonna find enough fish to keep me busy for a little while here. So that's the plan. Then Coda's down. Now, shallow, flats, what's our best friend? Humminbird Mega 360. Especially in these situations where it's very coverless. There's not really a lot going on here, except for just sand, a little bit of fringe weed, a little bit of gravel. So having the 360 down is going to show me exactly where those fish are all around my boat. So stay tuned, that's the plan. Now we're going to snap jig some plastics and hopefully catch a bunch of these fall walleyes. Right there. Number 2, boys, number 2. And we are having some fun now. Oh yes. Oh yes. Absolutely love it. Super shallow, sitting in about 7 feet of water right here. Come here, buddy. And that clunk. There is absolutely no better fishing and walleye fishing than snapping a plastic and having your rod hide dunk, right on the end of the line. And you can tell by how they're eating that jerk minnow. They're digging it. There we go. Number 2 of, well, we didn't even start fishing really till noon, but number 2 of the afternoon. And we're just gonna keep firing on them as long as they want to stay there. But as they often do in shallow water, caught those fish out of a pretty good sized school. My screens are blank. There's no fish on them right now. A lot of times you bust a fish out of a smaller school like that in really shallow water, they're just naturally nomadic, so they just push, you know, maybe they shoot over there, over here, over there, but then it's up to you to once again use the electronics to find them. We're gonna do a little switch. We're gonna fit a couple short bites. I'm gonna take that off the jerk minnow. I'm gonna put on a relatively underutilized plastic that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, especially in skinny shallow water or during cold water seasons, and that is the 2.8 inch Kalen's Tickle Tail. And it's really good. A lot of people, when they pick out a swim bait, I think they have the want and desire to fish a really big paddle tail. This one is 2.8 inches long, so it's small. One advantage that gives you, especially in shallow water, is you don't want to be doing like huge actions with the rod when you're in shallow water, because essentially what ends up happening is you end up like pulling the bait 3/4 of the way up the water column at 6 feet of water, you know. So these smaller plastics like this, they give you ability to do really small actions with it and still get that tail kicking. You can see how that sits on a 1/4 ounce jig there. I could probably even go down to an 1/8 ounce and catch fish as well. But it allows you to kind of, there's no fish in that direction right now, I believe, but it allows you to kind of do little actions that just kind of look like this, where you're just kind of picking that bait up like 4, 5, 6 inches, and it'll keep that tail going, especially if you're dealing with like a lot of eater-sized fish that are just kind of, you know, a lot of these fish get up here and they're just pushing real small bait and minnows around, and it gets sunny and flat out. And these shallow water flat bites this time of year, a lot of times you can just see like huge schools of minnows about that long up shallow, and that's a lot of what they're feeding on. So sometimes going downsizing your plastic actually can help you catch a lot of fish. Right there. Swim bait working out all right. That was about my third cast with it. Seems like we got a nice walleye, I'm sure. Oh yeah. About a 17, 18 incher. Absolutely smoked that thing, man. We'll give him the old flip on in. And right there. He's got that thing just absolutely choked. You know, not a super big fish, but definitely a nice one. We'll take them all day long. Sun's even popping out. What's up with that? It was so gloomy right when I got here. Now bright sun on the horizon, but pretty simple standard program here. Get in shallow water, find areas where fish are using, use the trolling motor, cruise down it. When you get in areas that have fish in it, pitch directly to them on side imaging or off the 360 and rinse and repeat. Wow, dude, are we on them right now or are we absolutely on them? Oh man. And I'll say this. Ooh, nice, another nice fish. Quality is pretty good. And I'll say this, if you can get me in 5, 6, 7 feet of water and give me a bite where I can catch walleyes snap jigging plastics, I'm good. I'm set. Say no more. And man, ever since I switched to this, this smaller swim bait, the 2.8 inch, out of sight. Sometimes with plastics, it's a lot of those little things, you know, going from a big one to a small one, switching heads, switching your cadence. There's a lot of times the difference between catching just like an absolute pile of fish and picking off a few on plastics. And we actually filmed a phenomenal piece for the Walleye Now app that kind of highlights this. That goes into kind of like your expert level, how to fish plastics or snap jig like a pro. Because essentially, a lot of things have to be on point for you to replicate that live bait look, or for you to replicate the success you could have by fishing live bait. And obviously plastics are just an unbelievably fun way to fish, but there's a lot of little things, cadence wise, jig wise, swim bait body wise, split tail minnow wise, that go into your success when you're fishing plastics, so that you can basically have a high level of success doing it. And that video is obviously found on the Walleye Now app. Click on early fall and then any of the body of water options and it'll be right there. This is unreal, dude. Absolutely unreal. I mean, the camera's been rolling for like 15, 20 minutes now. And we've caught pretty much all these fish, just boom, 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 as you guys have seen now. I'm absolutely in heaven, and this is absolutely what Tom Boley needed. Oh my gosh, and they're nice fish too. You know, are there any of these giant fish? No, but are they quality? Absolutely. And I can literally see the bottom right here when where I'm fishing. And my guess would be that when this sun starts coming out, you're gonna see it get a little bit less good. The forecast for today was for clouds, sun, till about mid to late afternoon. And then it was gonna transition to more straight sun. But if I can do that a bunch more times today, I'm in heaven. So there we go. Let's let him go. There was a quick little 3 fish in about 4 casts. Oh, look at that. Oh man, dude, and they are so feisty up in the shallow water. I can see the bottom. We got the wind kicking back up again now. And look at that. It's gonna be a little bit harder to feel what we got going on with the wind kind of the way it is, casted sideways, but look at that. Popped it. There we go. Perfect eaters, all of them. Some of them may be a little bit too big, but we'll take them like that. We will absolutely take them. You guys can kind of see that pot of fish out there on the side imaging off the right. Now they've kind of moved and they're a little bit more like back in here on the 360. But wow, what a fun little bite this is, huh? I'll take it. Say less, I'm in. Wow, what is this? It's gotta be a pike. Oh yes, the old piker. Don't break me off, buddy, don't break me off. Don't break me off, look at him go though. It's going around like crazy down there. Corkscrewing. It's a big corkscrewing pike. Oh, he's not even that big. My line is right through his mouth though. This might not last long. Might not last long. Everything will eat the plastics up here. That is just, I always say it in every fall fishing video, but the best part about fall is that everything goes up shallow and it'll start eating a bunch of jigs and minnows, jigs and plastics. Look at that. Right in the corner. Line was like coming back through his mouth all T-bone for a little bit. We'll take them. Lots of hook sets in our short amount of time we've been out. Oh. And that is what we're after, sliming up the boat, sliming up the boat. There he goes, back in the water. Still got all my digits, just bleeding a little bit. We're all good. Right there. Feeling nice, feeling nice. Oh yeah. Dude, these things are just angry up in shallow water, man. Angry. And I'll show you a quick view here, if they're still there after I show you this fish. And I'm just playing around with 360 and Mega Live and perspective mode and a little bit of everything on the graph here this afternoon. But look at that. I mean, dude, just how could you complain, right? As good as it gets right there. But let me show you guys real quick, just kind of, you know, we're only sitting in 6 feet of water, but when everything's real flat like this, you know, here's what these fish are looking like right now on the side imaging, because we're kind of staying stationary. There are these long lines. On the Mega Live, they're right there. Now you can see if I like turn this way, I lose them. If I turn that way, I lose them again. So right kind of dead center off the side of my boat, we got to adjust the white balance here. Right dead center off the side of my boat to the left, you can see that pot of fish right there. And then it's just casting right at them. So kind of cool sometimes just to play with the electronics and see how one thing can complement another and all that kind of good stuff. So obviously Mega Live is a super powerful tool, and you guys have seen us use it for most of the season now with a lot of effectiveness. Fish on. It's feeling all right. That's feeling all right. Oh yeah, nice walleye, nice walleye. Right off the Mega Live. I was like, I cast it out and I was spinning around. I was like, where did my fish go? Well, a lot of times when you put a jig right in front of them, they'll just bolt like down to the bottom and almost get like flush with it. And then the next thing that happens is you normally get bit. That's exactly what happened. There we go. That is just too much fun. I actually caught one other one this size and I played the audio back and it was terrible. So that's probably not going to make the video, but there we go. Just kind of casting at individual bigger marks, kind of like I said I was going to with the live. There we go. How you going to beat it? Beautiful fall walleyes, catching an absolute pile of them. Snap jigging up in shallow water. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, took a quick thumbnail pic. Gonna let that guy go. And wow, I mean, you can literally see the bottom as I look into the water right here. I don't really think there's a whole lot else to say other than we absolutely just train wrecked these fish in about an hour and 45 minutes. And a lot of that time was just spent driving around. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. I mean, It's only like 2:30 right now. We could just fish the rest of the day and film 3 more of these things, but we're not gonna do that because it could get just a little bit too repetitive. But we'll be back again tomorrow doing something different lake. I think I'm just gonna kind of do like a lake to lake to lake to lake kind of video series this week. That's kind of what I'm hoping. See some country, see some different water, catch some fish from a few different locations, and that's kind of the plan. But first off, like I said, did an awesome piece. I'm basically talking about jigging plastics for the Walleye Now app. Click early fall, or first right at the bottom of the Walleye Now app, which is available on Google Play and the App Store. Click Let's Go Fishing, and then click early fall, and then click any of the body of water options. And that thumbnail looks something like this, talking about a lot of the different plastics I like to use, when I like to use one versus the other, cadences, rigging, all that kind of stuff that ultimately catches you more fish. And Walleye Now is kind of your home for that kind of content. But yeah, anything else, any other points of business? Oh, I guess the Contour Fishing Clothing Co., kind of me and Shelby's clothing company. Unbelievably amazed always by their support that you guys have. Just want to support this channel, want to support whether that's a clothing company or Walleye Now. Unbelievable to see. So big thank you to you guys. We did get some awesome thermoses. I don't know if they're called thermoses or tumblers in, with the awesome Walleye logo. Looks something like this right here. They're on there. We got some new long sleeves on there. We got the new sweatshirts on there, and Shelby's busy shipping this stuff every day. Huge thank you goes out to you guys for all your guys placing orders on that stuff. So appreciate that. Tonight we're gonna go back, shack up in a little hotel motel room, not sure yet, and get some editing done. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys are not yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you next time.